Welcome to Grade 9, Lesson 3, the Equation of a Line, Part 1, Slope-Intercept Formula. We're going to be using all the stuff we've done in previous lessons, and this is where we're finally going to get to the mysterious y equals mx plus b. We're going to start by plotting the line y equals a half x plus 3, and because this has a divide by 2 in the fraction, I'm going to make sure all of my numbers are easily divisible by 2. So if I have a half of 0 plus 3, that's 0 plus 3, which is 3. The next one would be a half times 2, which is 1, plus 3, I get 4. A half times 4, which is 2, plus 3, I get 5. And a half times 6, which is 3, plus 3 is 6, or you may have noticed the pattern and figured out it was 6. If I plot these, I get 0, 3, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. And I'm hoping you could guess out if I went on this side, the negative side of my x-axis, I think you could see the pattern and you could guess that the next point would be minus 2, 2, and minus 4, 1. When we connect these dots, we're going to get the line with arrows at the end, y equals a half x plus 3. It now says calculate the slope of the line. Use any 2 points. I'm going to pick this point and this point. And when I calculate my rise, it's 3. And my run, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, oh yeah, remember that slope equals rise over run. So if slope equals rise over run, my rise was 3, my slope was 6, I get here that my slope equals a half. Next it says calculate or find the y-intercept. I already highlighted it purple, but I'm going to add yellow. That's my y-intercept. And just a reminder, the y-intercept is where your y-int is where the line crosses the y-axis. So in this case, my y-intercept was at a height of 3. So I've got the slope is a half and y-intercept is 3. And this was all being done for the line y equals 1/2 x plus 3. And they say, what do you notice about the equation and the slope and the intercept? Well, I sure as heck notice that my slope is the same as the coefficient in front of x, and we learned that last time. But also, now I can see that my y-intercept is that number that is the constant that is in the equation for the line. So they're going to use, math people use kind of weird letters. They use M for slope, and then they use B for the y-intercept. And it's a lowercase b, and sometimes it looks like a 6, so be careful with this. And this all goes together to make the equation y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. And so knowing this, we don't have to make a table of values anymore. We can just graph the lines, which makes our life a lot easier. Here they want us to graph a whole bunch of lines, and the first thing we're going to do is figure out what the slope is. So remember, m is the number squished against the x, so it's 2. B is the number that stands alone, so it's minus 4. That's going to be our y-intercept. And they recommend us doing 2 steps. First, start at the y-intercept, and then we're going to, that was supposed to make it straight. And then the second thing is find the next point using the slope. So we're going to do that. So we're going to start at the y-intercept of -4, and then a slope of 2. A reminder, though, that slope is always your rise over your run. And in this case, our run is going to be a ghosty 1. So I would rise up 2, run across 1 to get to my next point. And because it's easier to connect a bunch of points all together, I'm going to do a bunch more. Rise up 2, run across 1, get another point, up 2, across 1, up 2, across 1, up 2, across 1. And if I was going to go on the other side of the x-axis, I would go back 1, down 2, back 1, down 2, following the same staircase pattern. And connecting all these dots, I'm going to get that this is my line y equals 2x minus 4. For B, it says y equals -3, so that -3, that's going to be my slope. -3x plus 4. The plus 4 is going to be my y-intercept. So I'm going to start there. Start at plus 4. Now my slope is really -3 over ghosty 1. Remember, that's rise over run. So I'm going to go down 3, across 1, down 3, across 1, down 3, across 1 to make my next points. And we get the line y equals -3x plus 4. So we start with the y-intercept, then we get some other points, draw our line. Much quicker than doing a table. For C, our y-intercept is 1, B is 1. So I'm going to start there. My slope is 3 over 5. So I'm going to go up 3, across 5, up 3, across 5. I get my next 2 points. And when I connect the dots, I'm going to get the line y equals 3 over 5x plus 1. For D, -2/3 x minus 1. So my y-intercept is -1. My slope is -2 over 3. So down 2 across 3. Down 2 across 3. When I connect these, I'm going to get the line through the points, put arrows, and this is my line y equals -2/3 x minus 1. So hopefully that's starting to make sense. For the last 2 ones, they don't just give us y equals mx plus b. We're going to have to rewrite them in slope-intercept form. So that means we are going to isolate y. And in this case, I'm just rewriting it because I took over a space that I would need. I'm going to divide, to get y by itself, it's being times by 4, so I have to divide it by 4. If I divide it by 4, I have to divide every single term by 4. And just a reminder that the coefficient in front of your x when there's nothing there, it's not nothing, it's actually a 1. So we get y equals 1/4 x plus 6. That means my slope is 1/4. That's the slope. And my b equals 6. Remember I said b and 6 can look the same, so be careful. That's my y-intercept. So to graph this, 6 with a slope of 1/4, up 1, across 4, up 1, across 4, down 1, back 4. So if I connect these dots, I get this line y equals 1/4 x plus 6. For F, we got to isolate y again. So I'm going to take the 6x, bring it to the other side. It turns into -6x. Minus 18 when it goes to the other side becomes positive 18. Divide every single term by 2. So y equals -3 over 1x plus 9. And I wrote this as -3 over 1 because I know I'm going to need my slope as a fraction. So my slope is minus 3 over 1. My y-intercept is 9. So I start at 9, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 down, across 1, 3 down, across 1, 3 down, across 1. Connecting all these dots, I get a line that looks like this, and that is the line 6x plus 2y minus 18 equals 0. So make sure you filled in your lesson note, and thanks for watching.